Hola mis amores, ¿cómo están? I'm doing fine, thank you for asking. In this video, I'm going to be doing my August wrap-up and my September TBR. Now, if you're new to the book world, a wrap-up is basically a summary of what you've read, and the TBR is to be read. Yeah. I'm going to be starting with my August TBR. I'm going to give you my rating of the book from 1 to 5 stars. 1 being like, ew, no, never. And 5 being like, wow, this is spectacular. Disclaimer, I love spoilers and I tend to spoil a lot of things. So if you don't like spoilers, you can check out my rating and fast forward. And then after my wrap up, I'm going to go into my September TBR. So first, I finished reading The Crown of Gilded Bones by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So from Blood and Ash. It's from Blood and Ash, Flesh and Fire. This is the 3rd book. I rate this book a 4 out of 5 stars. No, 4.5 out of 5 stars. Reason being, it was really good, but it made me go into a reading slump. So the beginning is cool. It's like, wow, and you think that Poppy almost dies, and then she ascends and she's like a deity or something. And then the middle part, that's the problem. The middle part is where I'm just bored. So it's basically like Poppy being like, I don't want to be the prophecy, I don't want to hurt people, I want to be strong, but I don't feel strong. Who am I? What is the meaning of life? If that would have been like a chapter or maybe 2, I would have been fine with that. But that was like 6 chapters of the same thing over and over again, where she's just asking people, what am I? What am I? It's like, girl, nobody knows what you are. Like, this is a self-discovery. Find out for yourself what you are, you know? So that's boring. I got into reading slump because I started this when it came out. It came out like in March, and then I was in a reading slump, and I was just like, I cannot, like, no. So anyways, so once it hits the chapter, I think 34, this is when Poppy and Castile are pronounced king and queen of Atlantia or Atlantis? Atlantia. They're pronounced king and queen. That's when it gets interesting, because now we're finding out that who her real father is, who her real mother is, and we're figuring out that she's not a deity, she's a god or goddess. And then the ending is just like Kingdom of Ash, where, no, not Kingdom of Ash, Empire of Storm from Sarah J. Maas. Aelin, she's like, you know, taken by Maeve. So basically same thing. So Queen Isbeth, is it Isbeth? I forget names. I'm terrible at names. But the queen of, you know, the other place, she takes away Castile, and then it's basically like, where's my husband? I need to get my husband back. So the ending is really good. Like, the ending, fast, like reading fast, really awesome. But if it was shortened, if the middle part was shortened, or she added different things in the middle, it would have been 5 out of 5. But because of the middle and it giving me a reading slump, it's a 4. It's really good, but the middle part sucks. Because I was in a reading slump, I was like, you know what, let me try something else. So I read A Touch of Darkness, and wow, I finished this book in a day. It was really good. It's about Greek mythology. It's Hades and Persephone. It's a retelling. It was amazing. It was spectacular. 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. I loved it. Do I have any critiques? Not really. It was perfect to me. It was amazing. Yeah, so then I read A Game of Fates. 5 out of 5, because Hades, the way the author did Hades' point of view was very amazing. Loved it. Awesome. Beautiful. What I love the most is that these two are the same time period, but obviously this is Persephone and this is Hades, and it feels like you're reading 2 separate stories and not the same reread. And what I love the most about the series, oh, by the way, I read the whole series. So what I love the most about the series is that she uses like the myths in the Greek mythology as her plots. So she's basically retelling stories of the Greek mythology, but she modernizes it. and like for example Theseus and some other dude, I forgot his name, I can't even pronounce it, he was calling P, right? They both are demigods, and they made a bet or something. This is the Greek mythology basically, where they're like, oh, let's kidnap a daughter of Zeus. So Theseus took Helen, and P, I forgot his name, he took Persephone, but he died ASAP because Hades was like, you are not touching my woman. So basically that. So the same thing, same concept happened in A Touch of Ruin. You saw that transition? Yes. Right. It happened in here, but the difference is that in the myth, it happened while Hades and some other guy, they were like in the underworld, and they were just talking over a boulder or something, and that's how it happened. In here, it's she's working for like a newsletter or something, and then this guy, he's a janitor, a custodian, and he's helped her escape like paparazzi, because in this world gods and goddesses are like celebrities. So he's helped her escape, and then one day like she's having beef with her boo thing, you know, Hades, and she decides to like leave work or whatever, like she quits her job or something, and then he like kidnaps her. She modernizes the myths, so if you know Greek mythology, you're like, hey, I know what you're doing, I dig it. But if you don't know Greek mythology, she like low-key teaches you. And what I love is that in the end, in the author's note, I don't know if you can see, but she usually tells you like what stories were inspired, like what stories she used that inspired the plots in the book, and I dig that. But yeah, so A Touch of Ruin, I gave it a 4 out of 5 stars. It was more like 3.7 out of 4 stars just because of miscommunication. So Persephone and Hades in this book deal through a lot in their relationship. Like there's a lot of miscommunication, misunderstanding. Basically this is where they start to learn each other and like build their trust towards each other and be comfortable discussing the things that make them uncomfortable, you know, like every relationship. But I didn't like it because I tried to be very direct. So like if I don't like something, I'm like, I don't like this. But Persephone and Hades, they just bottle things up and they don't tell at all. Like they act very cold to each other, very petty, and they don't like talk things out. Even if it's annoying, they don't do it. And then at the end they start talking things out, and it's like, I don't know, it was just that like turned me off. So I'm giving this a 3.9 out of 5 stars. Like I love it, it was really good, but it pissed me off. Okay, now that we're done with that one, I read A Touch of Malice. 5 out of 5 stars. It was amazing. So because in A Touch of Ruin they were like going through their relationship stuff, in A Touch of Malice communication was way better, like way better. Like anytime they were just uncomfortable or something, they're like, I didn't like this, like what you did here, like I didn't like it. And like I love that, like straight communication. There's so many plots, so many things happening that like you low-key feel Persephone's like anxiety, and I dig that. And yeah, honestly it was like perfection to me. Like I would reread A Touch of Darkness and A Touch of Malice. Like I would reread it. It may be Fates, what was it called, A Game of Fates, but I would not reread A Touch of Ruin because it just pissed me off so much. Okay, so that was my August wrap up. So now for my September TBR, the books that I'm aiming to read. I don't know if you noticed, but I'm a mood reader, which means that my reading heavily depends on my mood. Sometimes I catch a reading slump, and I think that's why in August I only read 5 books, because I was in a reading slump. I think that's really the reason. So I have a set of books, and if I don't read all of them, I'm not gonna get mad at myself. I'm not gonna get mad. We're just having fun. Alright, so these 3 books I'm about to show you are the 3 books that are my priority, that I want to finish for this month, like definitely. So first I want to start reading Riordan, Percy Jackson. Yeah, fun fact, I never read Percy Jackson. I just watched the movies, but I never read the book. 2 years ago I started reading Harry Potter. I feel like if you forget about the author, like if we just look at the storyline, the writing, the characters and stuff, Harry Potter was good, but I think I would enjoy Percy Jackson more because it's Greek mythology and I'm a Greek mythology nerd. So I think I would enjoy Percy Jackson more than Harry Potter. But that's my theory. Let's see what happens. But yeah, I want to read Percy Jackson. I also want to finish Neon Gods. Yes, I am currently reading it. I'm on chapter 19. So basically Neon Gods is about Persephone and Hades. But it's an okay book right now. I'm not like head over heels thinking about it 24/7 like I was for A Touch of Darkness. The Greek gods, the originals, are dead. So the title of each god, like Zeus, Poseidon, Ares, Apollo, Hermes, that name is passed down through generation, and it's basically a political status. So there's no powers, there's no like thunder and wind, water, and no, it's like it's all politics. So Demeter, which is Persephone's mom, I don't know if I pronounced it right, but she's the goddess of harvest. So in this book, she's in control of food distribution. So she's in charge of like food and prices, so that everybody, no matter how much money they have, they're able to receive food. So that's her job, right? That's her responsibility as Demeter. But it's not like in A Touch of Darkness or just in Greek mythology where Demeter like, you know, powers. So that thing is a little trippy for me, but it's so far a good book. I don't want to like talk into it because, you know, this is for my other wrap up coming up. My other priority is Ariadne by Jennifer Saint. I don't know if I pronounced Ariadne right. I'm actually listening to the audiobook, and I don't know why names just like, they're just like, which is so bad. But yeah, so I'm reading the audiobook, and it's a pretty good book. Like, I'm liking it. I'm on chapter 17 right now. So those are the 3 books that I like for sure I want to finish. Like, that is my goal. Now I have 4 books that are if I'm in the mood, like, you know, I would love to read them, but if I don't read them, if I don't get to it, it's fine. Like, it's not gonna hurt me. So first I want to read The Silent Patient. One of my close friends and I were actually gonna buddy read this, so I'm excited. It's basically, what I remember is that it's about this woman. She kills her husband and she calls 911 and she's like, yo, I killed my husband. She goes to prison, and the criminal psychologist, he's trying to figure out why did she kill him, what led up to that, and like fill in the blanks because she's not speaking. Like once she gives herself in, like she's quiet, like she's not speaking. So he's just trying to figure her out, like, why did you do that, what led to that, and all that info. I've been wanting to read this book for the longest, but I always been like, no. But I finally have it. I'm gonna read this with my friend. We're gonna buddy read it. I think we start today, so hopefully I finish this month. But yeah, A Silent Patient, I'm excited about it. And then I also want to read The Maidens. It's by the same author, Michaelides. Alex, I don't want to mispronounce, but yeah, Alex. It's by the same author. I've heard mixed reviews on this book. So basically it's like a boarding school, and these girls are going missing or they're dead, and one of the teachers is like, like, let's solve this mystery. And she suspects is this guy, like this other teacher. So she like suspects him to be the killer. And supposedly there's a plot twist within a plot twist. Some people say it's better than A Silent Patient, and some people say it's worse. And honestly, the main reason is, look at this cover. Like, that's dope. And then they said that he adds Greek mythology in here, and hello. And I mean, it does give some Greek mythology vibes with that. Following that, I was thinking maybe, this is like if I'm in the mood to read Circe. I don't know much about Circe, so I want to research her first and then read the book. But all I know is that she's a goddess of like, she's a witch, something like that. She discovered that she does possess power, the power of witchcraft, which can transform rivals into monsters, crosses paths with many of the most famous figures in all of mythology, including the Minotaur, Daedalus, and his doomed son. Oh my gosh! So Ariadne, the one I'm reading in audiobook, it's about the Minotaur and Daedalus and his son that dies, and it mentions Medea. It's basically about the Odyssey, and she meets these people, so that's really dope. Honestly, I might read this next. I don't know. It's really interesting. I want to read it next. Alright, and my last book that I want to read is Dune. So this edition has 3 books in one. And the first movie is coming out. I think it's going to be an HBO Max. I just don't know when exactly. I have this much to read. Like the movie that's coming out is based on this. So you see there's like book 2, so there's like 3 books in here. So honestly, I would like to read the whole thing, but I did find the audiobook. It's 3 hours. It's really not that bad. So maybe I listen to it while I'm doing chores and my daily routine and stuff. So yes, that is my September TBR and August wrap up. I hope I actually read all these books, because if I do, I will be so happy and I'll feel very accomplished. Follow me on Instagram at Louisa Levite, so you can keep up with my reading process. And I usually post a lot of memes on my stories because I like to be funny, or try to be funny. So you should check that out. You should follow me because I post a lot of stories of funny stuff. If you're bored, you can totally check that out. And I also post a lot about like books and nails, and you should just follow me on IG at Louisa Levite. My earrings are actually from Ana Luisa. You can use my discount code Louisa Levite 10 for 10% off. Thank you for supporting my reading obsession. Comment down below what types of videos you would like, makeup or reading. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time.